Okay, Josh, so as promised, here's a little video tutorial on how I sort of logistically choose music and use Planning Center to do that. And so when you first open Planning Center, as I know it looks like this for me as an admin, I believe that you're set up as an editor. It still should look similar to this. The important part being that you can see the services right here, which are services that you and I added together. So let me click here to open. This is this Sunday's service. There's a spot here to put a series title and a plan title. You don't have to do that, but I wanted to show you a couple things here. First of all, here on the left-hand side, you're going to see times. And these are our regular times that like we've been doing when we set up. We haven't been doing this production and prayer thing, but it's just kind of there by default. But you can click on these and change them if you ever felt like you needed to or wanted to. And that's just something we hadn't talked about last time. But here you're going to see this is the template that shows up for every first Sunday of the month. And with it being communion, you have communion in there already. And so keep in mind that like for this Sunday, for example, you're going to choose 2 songs to go here, and then you're going to have communion, and then your third song here, and then your closing song down here. And the way that I choose music is if I go over here to the right-hand side where you can see the cursor there, and we click on this drop down for add, you click on song. Instead of dragging and dropping, which you could do, you go here, you click on song, and it's going to open this up right here. And this is the list of all of the songs that we currently have in our repertoire. And right now they're sorted by date. If when you open it, they're not sorted by date, this is where you do that right here. So you can see it is sorted by, let's see, there you go, last scheduled, because it can sort them by, you can sort them by title. So right now, see, they're sorted by title, which is why 10,000 Reasons is at the top. I like to sort it by last scheduled. And you can confirm that here. We just did Because He Lives on Sunday, and we played that 1 week ago. Technically, it was yesterday, but it'll list it as 1 week ago. This is a personal preference thing, so please don't take any of this as like me telling you to do this or anything like that. But as we mentioned, I don't like to schedule songs, the same song more than once a month. And so one of the things that I will automatically do is scroll down until I get to 5 weeks, because that means we haven't played this in a month. And so this is kind of where I start looking at music. Of course, looking at the titles of the songs, you'll know if it's a slow song or a fast song, or if it's a hymn or a what I call legacy song. And I had mentioned to you how I personally like to do at least 2 contemporary, like newer songs, 1 legacy song and 1 hymn. Not that you necessarily have to stick to that. It's just what I like to do. And then I try to have a mix of upbeat and slower music. So this is where you would do that. So you kind of go through, here's your song list, and pick the songs that you want. But one thing that you can do is if you scroll back up to the top, if you're wanting to, you can filter them by the different categories, which I have set up for all these songs. So if you click on filter, and then you go over here to tags, and then you go down here to type, you have all of these different categories, even Christmas, communion. Now I set all these up myself. You actually had to go through every single song and add these tags. So it's all set up. So let's say the first song we want to choose is our hymn. You can click on that. And then when you click away from it, don't X out, because if you X out, that's going to close this whole box. You don't want to do that. You want to click right here. When you click right there, you X out of, you're basically exiting out of the filter. And now it's only showing songs that are tagged as hymns, and they're still sorted by date. So you can still go down to like the 5-week marker. Grace Greater Than Our Sin would be the first one on the list there. So then here are all of the hymns. So then when you choose a hymn, let's say that you want to do Great Is Thy Faithfulness, then you can just go right here to the little dots, and when the hand appears, you can grab it and drag it and then drop it to wherever it is that you want it in the service. And so then, you can go up here and remove that filter and go in again to the tags and, look at specifically the legacy song. You can see there's 18 songs as legacy songs. And then you can go through and you can select if you want to look at legacy and contemporary. I believe you might even be able to sort by, let's see, there's a way where you can sort it. Oh, down here by speed. So if you want to look up, upbeat songs, I can't guarantee that they're all tagged, but if you do that, you've got all your more upbeat songs right here that you might want to use as like your first song for that Sunday. And then you've got medium and slow. So let me just grab a couple of random ones, right? So like I Thank God, and we'll drop it there. And then, I don't know, Holy Forever, and we'll drop it there. It's communion this Sunday. So let's say Old Rugged Cross we want as a communion song. And let's say whatever Andrew is preaching on, Lord, I Need You, works as a closing song. So then you go there, we can X this out. And then I'm not going to do this now because I just don't want to create extra work, but then you just go through and delete all of these placeholders by just going over here to the right, clicking on that, and then you confirm it and that'll disappear. Okay. For now, I'm going to delete the songs. Well, so this is how you would delete those placeholders. I had mentioned about like different keys. Like if a song, you feel like the key is too high and you want to lower the key. Let's say like you do want to do I Thank God, but you think the key of C is too high for your voice, which is common when I'm leading worship. You would actually, I'm going to show you how to do this. It's more advanced stuff, but if you want to follow it, you can do it. So right here, I'm going to right click on the title and hit open a new link. That way we're not closing this, and just it's an easier way of keeping it open. Here is the page for the song I Thank God. Okay. And so you can see right here in the key of C. Let's say the key of C is too high and you want to do it in the key of A. You add a key, you tell it what key you want to add it in. So there you go. Make sure rehearsal mix is selected because that's your multi-tracks right there. That's for the iPad. We hit save, and then there it is in the key of A. And now there you go. It's loading up all of the tracks. You will notice that there's no chord chart, and that's why I'm actually going to go to song select. Is this it? Yeah, song select, which is songselect.ccli.com. I'm already logged in, but once you're logged in, you can go in here and search for any song. I Thank God, search, and here's all the different songs in the CCLI that it pulls up when you search for that. But obviously what we're looking for is this very first one. And over here you have lyrics, chords, lead sheet, vocal sheet, and then showing you that it has multi-tracks, and then you can save it as a favorite or whatever. But if you click on chords, it's going to pull up a chord chart, and there you go. This is in the key of C, and then so you just go here and you change it to A, and now you have your chord chart in the key of A. And so now you can go over here and you can say download as PDF. Actually, I'll do this for you. Download as PDF. It downloaded to my computer, and so now over here, I can add it to here by just dragging it and dropping it into here. I don't think that's something you're going to be able to see me do because you can only see this window over here. But if I drop it, you were able to see that. There it is. And now you have your chord chart in the key of A for everyone, so that you can use that to print for everyone. So that's how you would do that. I'm going to delete this just because I don't want, actually, no, I'll just leave it because it could be useful to you. If you go over to Teams, you see the schedule. So there you are on bass guitar, and you can switch this up however you'd like. In fact, I'm gonna change things around and then I'll change them back. Okay. So let's say you want to play acoustic guitar and lead worship. So I'm gonna grab you and drag you over here. It's saying that there's a conflict because you're gonna be added twice in the same service. And so that's more like a warning. Hey, like a heads up. You're double booking someone. So I'm going to hit accept conflicts, and then I'm going to add you to worship leader as well. Same thing, accept conflicts. And I'm going to delete you from bass guitar. And now it needs a bass player. And Jordan was mentioning about playing bass. So I'm going to drag him and drop him there. It's also going to say conflict, accept. And then I'm going to delete Jordan from here. And then I'm going to take Micah from down here and I'm going to drag him up here. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this differently just so you can see how to do this in the other way. So the regular way of adding people is then I would click here, and over here on the right, it shows you your drummers. Now I had to go in and give these like assignments to people, and that can get a little bit complicated. But if you click on guest, you can essentially search for anyone. There's Micah right there, and then click and then add. And there you go. So that's why the reason I do the drag and drop is just because that's just faster than doing it the other way. And then we'll just delete him from there. And then you can delete these positions, these open positions, however needed. And there you go. There's everybody right there. Bethany doing announcements this Sunday because she's the first Sunday of the month. She does announcements because that's the beginning of the service. And there you go. Now I'm going to switch all of this back just because I don't want to mess things up for you. And, I want to let you do it yourself. So let's delete him. Let's put Jordan back on drums, accept, and delete. And let's put you back on bass. And again, I'm going to let you adjust all this stuff yourself. So it is now back to normal. So once you've got all your songs chosen, you feel like everything is set up the way you want it to, you go up here to the little envelope, and basically everyone that has this little envelope next to their name is going to get an email. So you click that. These are the different groups that it's going to send to, which is, these 4 groups right here. You click next. And then here's all the people so that you can confirm that if there's anyone you want to remove or add for whatever reason, although I don't know why you'd really want to do that. But then you just hit send. And once you hit send, it'll send that email to everybody and they can start accepting or declining the invitation. I'm going to hit cancel on that. This is set up in a way that it's set up every week. So, welcome and announcements, that'll be Bethany, and then call to worship would be you. Or if I would encourage you assigning this to Karen, to Josh, to whoever you want to encourage to, even if it's just a simple, hey, good morning, everyone, let's stand and let's sing together. That's like the bare minimum, but it works. If they want to share a scripture or something, they could do that too, or anything, share a couple thoughts about worship, whatever you'd like to do. You got your 2 songs, you've got communion, your 3rd song, taking of the elements, and then just don't forget at the end of communion, actually it'll be Andrew that'll be dismissing, but on a regular Sunday, let's see, you do the 3 songs, and then as I always do, dismiss preschool through 5th grade to go to children's ministry, and then encourage people to do the meet and greet and offering. And then that's it. Oh, here's another thing that I didn't show you, or that I did show you. Let's see, I think I'm going to go to last week's, because that's got songs picked out, right? We got our songs from last week and everything. When you're going to print music, it's this little music icon right here, and then click on Songbook. When you click on Songbook, it'll download a PDF with all of your available charts, which in this case would be for those 4 songs. So, and that's a great way for you to be able to print music. I would get in contact with Andrew or Raquel or someone this week to help you print music. I don't know if they'll have to print it for you or how that'll work, because I would use my computer that I had in my office. So that's something that you're just kind of have to maybe figure out for next Sunday. When it's time to add more plans, you just simply click add plan, and then how many you want to add. It's usually 4, but some months have 5 Sundays, so then you'd put 5. And then you just go in here. Communion's always the first week. I could have labeled it week 1, but there you go. And then week 2, week 3, week 4. And then when you click add, it will add those 4 plans here, and they will look exactly like these with all this right here and with all this right here. If you want to go through and change anything on those templates, you can. You just do that over here on the right. So you go to templates. I like to right click and do open a new window so that this stays open and it's easy to get to. And then this is where you're adjusting those templates. And so then you can go in here in Teams and you can move yourself to acoustic and worship, and you can move Jordan to bass guitar. You can move Micah over to drums if that's what you want to do. And when you go to add a new service, it will default to whatever you had set up on that template, if that makes sense. I think that's the last thing. But let me know. Text me if you want to call me. Let me know, and we'll set up like a phone call time. I only say that because I'm busy a lot with my family or whatever. So if you text me and you're like, hey, can I call you? Then we'll figure out a time where I can run to my computer and we can talk, and then I can talk you through or walk you through some of this stuff. So just let me know. I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions.